Because the industry is always going to innovate. There's always going to be new shit that comes out. Sorry. And there's always going to be stuff that's going to be easier than what was come before. If you don't have it being easier going forward in the future, then you're not innovating. Duh. Yo, what's going on, people? Corridor Crew is back at it again. So, if you guys been following me for a minute, you guys knew I did a series on this whole AI art conversation to begin with. I did a series on this whole AI conversation thing to where I already know it's not going to go anywhere, but my take was very controversial for artists who've been in the industry for a minute anyway. So I already know what people are going to be thinking about this video. And for the last video that they did, Rock, Paper, Scissors, that blew up, it started a whole shitstorm of a conversation when it comes to people who are art admirers and artists alike, and people who are in the industry and who are basically scared that their jobs are going to be taken from this AI, this stable diffusion, this new form of technology that people have just came out with, and they wondering where the future is going to go. So with that being said, Corridor Crew has essentially, which I like they did, they doubled down. They actually made another Rock, Paper, Scissors that is on their website that I'm probably going to go check out after this, but I want to see exactly what this is going to be. Their video is titled, "Is This Art? Or is this something new?" These guys are not backing down, and I like it because the thing is, they know this new technology is just technology to help pursue, and it's visual effects. That's basically what it is. These are visual effects artists. But the main issue that people had with their video was that they were using, and I explained this throughout the whole series that I did too. If you want to check it out, I might have some links probably right here to go actually check that out because I explained this completely. Well, people's main gripe with their Rock, Paper, Scissors video was the fact that they thought that they was using stolen art from Vampire Hunter. What I basically said was, throughout my entire thing, I think that is the dumbest shit that I ever heard in my entire life. How can you use, or how can it be stolen when it's being translated into their version of work? It's not infringement. It's not copyright. When you're taking it and you're using it and producing a new product out of it. That was my whole thing. So I don't understand that argument at all, but people who are, basically do not understand what's going on and they just jumping on the bandwagon to hate AI work and shit like that, they just don't understand it. So, hey, but the thing is, I'm glad that they're still using it. I'm glad that they're finding a new way to, and double down on how to try to use it better and stuff like that, because I'm just going to be honest with you. I tried this shit afterwards and it's not easy. AI art is extremely hard to do, especially for somebody like me with my brain. I don't work well with numbers, computing, codes, and shit. No, that type of shit fucks with me. It messes with my brain. I would have to work with a person who is already knowledgeable on AI and stable diffusion for us to work in synchrony. I would draw the shit, right? I'll draw all the pictures, whatever that you want, and I will work with a guy who is a technology visual effects person, and he will produce it and make something out of it. That's my part. I know my lane. I know what I'm supposed to do. I tried it. Trust me. I made some abominations with AI. It is not easy. So without further ado, I want to check this out to see what they're talking about. I respect these guys. I always respect these guys. I've been watching them since I was little. So not since I was little, since I was a little content creator and a little artist. So, let's check this out. Let's see what they got.
Are we witnessing the birth of a new art form?
I don't know. Are we?
Right now, there are machine learning tools being created by an open source community that hold the possible potential to allow you to visualize anything you want, as long as you provide the imagination, direction, and the training data. But image-based
most important thing he said was direction. If you don't have direction, none of this shit matters.
Machine learning has some limitations, and one of its biggest limitations is consistency over time. We tried to solve that problem with an experiment that we called Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors.
I challenge you to rock, paper, cross blades!
And due to our use of AI,
oh, so damn
it
good.
ended up becoming one of the most controversial things we've ever done. Now we're doing it again. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked.
These dudes are doubling down. They don't give a fuck, and I love it.
People, on this day, the 1-year anniversary of my coronation, I bring forth a token of peace!
Wait, I was saying, like, is this still the second one? Now, guys, if you know who I am, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to break it down. I'm a breakdown person. I don't just watch it and just, And plus, I don't have a good memory. So if I'm not, talking about a situation right when I see it, I'm probably going to forget it. So this is how I am as a person. So I'm going to go back to what he said, because it's something I noticed in this scene. So this is Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors Part 2, right? So I'm assuming that they improved on the technology. They tried to go in depth with it a little bit more to basically boost it up to get to the next version. Of course, and this is my thing, I don't know how you can perfect AI to get it to look seamless when it comes to animations and stuff like that. His eyes are still changing. The clothes is not, they're still not there. It's not registering the same clothes pattern consistently.
The 1 year anniversary.
See, it's still changing a little bit. Like you saw how his eyes doubled a little bit right there. Like he got two eyes right there. And that's because it's still, a little bit tough. The technology is not perfect. And these are guys who are basically professionals at visual effects. So for me to do it, I already know I have no chance. I have no chance. My brain cannot go there. I don't know where this is going to go in the future, but it's still a good tool. You just have to have dedication with this shit. I want to see how these guys are actually going to use this tool in the future to see how much they can get it to get to that perfect degree of seamlessness when it goes frame by frame in video format. I want to see that.
My coronation, I bring forth a token of peace.
Alright, so first things first, I have a huge announcement. After months of hard work, we have finished Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors 2.
Nice, I'm gonna check it out.
Live right now on CorridorDigital.com. You can watch it right now.
Now see, that was good.
This video dropped on YouTube, that video dropped on the website. So once you're done watching this video, go check it out. Alright, let's get into this. So how are we going to make episode 2 any better? Well, before I explain how, we first need to talk about why this is such a big deal for us.
Come here, I want to talk to you.
That is not him.
Okay.
That's him. I just instantly recognize it. It looked just like him. That's crazy.
Come here, I want to talk to you. Okay.
Sam and I started making videos over 20 years ago.
Get the
when
fuck
visual
out of
effects
here.
had just become accessible on our home computers, which were iMacs at the time. This was
Wow.
completely impossible a few years before when these tools were only accessible to Hollywood studios.
Right.
And as technology marched forwards, we got our first digital cameras.
Oh, congrats.
We got our first editors, and our first 3D animation programs.
That's crazy.
Eventually, we made our first movie. Imagine if you approached me with a new piece of experimental software, something so advanced that I could take normal footage from any camera and visualize anything I wanted. That is the
That's
holy
beautiful right
grail
there.
of visual effects. That is the ultimate ideal goal of the software that we use, to visualize impossible things, to build worlds and images that don't exist in reality. And last year, a form of machine learning for images called latent diffusion was
Latent diffusion.
opened
Stable diffusion, yeah.
to the public. Since then, it's been implemented all over the place. It's in Photoshop, it's in Microsoft Bing. There's even an open source model released to the community from Stability AI. When we discovered
And here's the thing. You might think it's dangerous because they have this shit everywhere. The only people that are making stuff out of this are people who are very good at doing what they do. I don't think that this is a casual, friendly type of tool. Nobody can just pick up AI art and just use it. I'm just being real. I've tried it myself. I came up with something that looks decent, but for some of the creations I've seen with AI art is just fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand how you even do something like that. Like, how do you code something that specific to come out looking the way it does? I just don't know. I'm an artist, so I'm not a visual coding type of person. I just like to visualize stuff that I see in my head and just draw it out. That's just the type of person I am. I'm a simple man. But for people who can do that, more power to them.
a way to train our own characters and images into
That's
this
cool.
process. It opened up a huge world for us creatively. That holy grail of VFX appeared to be in our hands. However, we quickly discovered that while this tool is incredibly powerful for still images, it doesn't work for video.
No.
Any attempt to filter a moving image through this process just ended up with a flickering, distorted mess. So we thought if we brought some of our visual effects skills to the table here, we might be able to solve some of these problems.
No, that
That's why
seems-
we made Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors. So one of the main points of controversy with the first Rock, Paper, Scissors was that we had trained the style on a pre-existing anime named Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You should go check it out. But with Rock, Paper, Scissors 2, it was important to us to figure out how to train in our own art style from our own art that we create from scratch. So that's one of the things we set out to do with this project.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with what he did before, which was taking images from Vampire Hunter D or something like that. Yeah, to actually make his own version of that. Came to the first Rock, Paper, Scissors. There's nothing wrong with that. I do like the second version though, because that's when it comes down to choice. Everybody is not just going to do, what I'm saying? Like, especially people who want to, quote unquote, have a moral code when it comes to giving an artist a job or something like that, right? Like, You don't want to take, like the job from artist or the pen from an artist or something like that. You hire an artist. It's as simple as that. That's why I said with me, I will be great working in tangent with somebody who know how to do AI art. I'll be good because I will just draw the style that you want and the look and feel of it. I'll draw a couple images of a character. If you want a character model, I will draw them probably 16 times for the frames to keep it consistent. I'm very good at keeping my characters consistent. So you work with somebody like me and you have somebody that's doing the computer work, the visual effects, that's magic. That's synchrony. That's a quick project right there.
This is the script for Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors 2.
Wow.
The first one had about 80 shots. This one has almost 400.
Woo!
The first thing we need to do is
tripled
a
it.
pipeline using software that's never been used in a pipeline before and figure out a way to efficiently get through 400 shots compared to the 80 that we did before.
I wonder who they got to do the art.
The script is, we have so many different environments. The first Rock, Paper, Scissors had one environment, and it was like a flat floor and two characters standing and talking to each other. Now we're all over the place, and it's much more complicated.
Holy shit.
Next up, we need to eliminate that flicker. We need to get better at that. Emotions are what matter. We need to be able to read the expressions of the characters' faces, see the eyes, the windows to their soul.
Absolutely.
We gotta get that flicker fixed. Next up,
How?
we need to develop our own art style from scratch. We want this to feel like our very own anime, meaning we need to invent our very own style of what the characters are going to look like.
Hire me.
We still need to do a whole bunch of actual hand animation because we only effectively get a filtered character from a computer. We still need to put them on a background, give them motion, give the camera motion, do the lines, do the blurs, do the light rays, do the glows, and add all these other elements to the shots that need them, a lot of which are just animated by hand.
True.
I want to show you the process of how we made Rock, Paper, Scissors 2. But first, let's talk about the controversy. So why
you already
was
know
the
this is
first
coming.
Rock, Paper, Scissors so controversial? And why are we making a second one? Well, a tool like Stable Diffusion offers a lot of power when creating images. And things that were previously quite difficult have become a lot easier.
Right.
Now there's a lot of discussion around AI being transformative versus derivative. And when we made the first Rock, Paper, Scissors, a lot of these conversations were brought to the forefront. So I don't want to speak for anyone else's viewpoint here. All I can really offer is my experience as an artist using these tools. If you are someone who's concerned about AI in the art space, well, I invite you to come along as I show you how we use it in the creation of a scene for Rock, Paper, Scissors 2. And I'll let
Okay, let me say it for them. It is transformative. I don't give a fuck what these artists are saying. These artists are, well, the artists, okay. I hate being me. I'm just blunt as fuck. This is who I can't bullshit people. It's dumb to even think that this is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's actually a good thing. And I've been saying this shit before. My stance has not changed. That's the reason why I haven't chimed in on this shit for the coming months or whatever. I talked about it back then and that was it. But since I saw they were doing the second one, I was like, you know what? Let me talk about this. Let me reiterate a little bit of what I'm talking about. What they're doing right now is very good. And what they're doing with artists in general is pushing the needle on this, causing creative conversations when it comes to this type of market to begin with. It's something new. We have these breakthroughs every couple of years when it comes to the art field. There's always going to be new tools to make shit easier, like the Transform tool in Procreate, Photoshop, all these other platforms. It's easier. I could just change the angle. I can't do that with traditional work. I'm pretty sure traditional people will be like, oh, that's cheating. Oh, you're not as skilled to just do it yourself. No, it's an easier tool. I can be laxed. Who doesn't want to be lax and have an easier way doing a job that they, number one, when you get hired for a job, especially if you're doing it for an industry, you have time slots. Time is the biggest thing that you need to cut short, especially when you're doing it for a client. And if there's technology tools to come up to cut that time in half, why not use it? I don't understand that.
let you decide if I work next with you. I will offer one opinion, if you would be so kind as to indulge me.
Please.
I think good art elicits an emotional reaction regardless of what tools or techniques are used. And that emotional connection is different for every single person. So at the end of the day, all we can do is offer what we create, and the rest is up to you.
Absolutely.
All right, well, without further ado, let's take a look at how we made a scene from Anime Rock, Paper, Scissors 2.
I like to address that still. They know they had to.
Every good video starts with a good idea, but then it's followed by a lot of work put into the script. Sam and I bounce pages off each other back and forth until we're locked into what we want, and it's time to go record the voice lines. Then we record all the
Hold up a
lines
second.
out in the script.
That's interesting. They
Record
do
the voice line.
script writing first, voice recording second, storyboarding third. I didn't expect that. Filming fourth, art style. Huh. That's That's interesting. For me, it would be script writing first, storyboarding second, art style third, voice recording fourth, filming fifth, backgrounds, composition, that all comes into play later. That would be my, but that's interesting though.
Lines. Then we record all the lines and dialogue in the script, like this one.
Jules, do my eyes betray me?
So we plan out the shot by writing text down in an edit. This tells us what each shot is going to be. This is simpler than having to draw a storyboard for every shot and see exactly how long it needs to be. Now it's off to design their costumes and then acting out the scenes on a green screen while trying to pair them with dynamic, inventive cinematography.
Right.
So now we have our characters filmed, it's time to create the art style that we're going to use. And for that, we go to my friend Josh Newland. Hi Josh. So I reached out to you to join us for this project because we wanted to create an art style specific to this project.
I'm the artist that provided the line work that would form the characters. The things that I tended to exaggerate were cheekbones, chins. You got angular features that look like you could grate cheese on them. Obviously exaggerated eyes. I'm not traditionally an anime artist, so studying everything from Vampire Hunter D to Gundam, Cowboy Bebop, and then trying to somehow blend that with the cartoonier style that I tend to do.
Yeah, his is more cartoony.
Like eye after eye after eye, meant drawing random villagers, soldiers, your characters from every conceivable angle with various emotions, and then getting feedback from you.
He's pretty good.
Now that we have the art style from Josh, we take photos of our actor wearing a costume.
But he's a cartoonist though. He's not an anime artist.
To a generalized diffusion model, which changes it and makes it fine-tuned, and it replicates our character in our art style. The reason we do this is because by making a model only capable of recreating one character in one art style, we eliminate one of the biggest sources of flickering.
Right.
Because the diffusion process has a tendency to interpret an image differently every time it runs due to that randomization. We can effectively force it to only look at things one way.
One way.
Our way. So now we have a foreground character. We still need our background.
So our background stars as 3D renders. I love Unreal Engine, it's really cool, it's free. I love creating environments in it, which is why it's perfect for this. We have a big environment. What do? Well, we compose things, like we shape the environment. And then above all, we do the actual camera work. We actually put down, as you see here, lots of little cameras that match up with every single plate. And from there, it's actually a really simple process to get them out of Unreal and process them with Stable Diffusion. The image is given a style transfer, not a specific artist or anything, but just generally the medium, style, the set.
Oh, man, I wish I knew how to do this, man.
But we still have a lot of work to do before we actually have a finished shot.
I don't have the patience for all those numbers. I don't. I just do not have the patience for all those numbers, man. I am not a numbers guy. I just see this scene and want to draw it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like not punching numbers to do it. That's just how my brain works. That's why working in tangent with somebody who's a technology person and somebody who's an artist is just perfect synchrony. I would love to work with somebody like this.
And put them together while also animating them against each other.
That's crazy. That's much better.
Other animated elements that we want to have in there, as well as lighting elements and other cool effects and all that good stuff. This is one of the most time-consuming parts of our work, but also some of the most fulfilling, because we're sitting down just adding our touch to every single moment of the story. So once that's done, we repeat that process for every single shot until we have a scene, like this one.
Let me see. Oh, this is much better composited. All these things are on different layers. Let me see. Let me go back to that one shot.
Until we have a scene, like this one.
That's his own layer. This is his own layer, and then the front part right here, that's his own layer too as well. That's how they shoot these scenes in animes and stuff. They have compositing layers. That's just compositing. That's all that is. But that's nice because they didn't have this in the last one. So I'm giving them props for doing it, for me seeing it for the first time, because they're actually having composited animated backgrounds.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, this is better.
He taught me everything, but now that I stand here, I'm filled with questions. Father,
Still flickering, but
I need your wisdom. I have never questioned your love for me, but I begin to question the love of our Creator. Fate forces my hand to lose every battle.
Have I been cursed since that fruitful day when my employer's folly turned into toxic sin? Have I not proven myself yet? Fate, if you're really there, guide me and I will follow.
Oh, I love the
If I not
composition.
be a king to challenge him, then
The
so
compositing is good.
I shall not see him again until I wear a crown of my own. I must find a kingdom in need of a king.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Probably
that
the
is.
first thing that comes to mind is just the stability, the lack of flicker. I mean, I remember
Yeah, the
as
lack
good
of
as we
flicker.
could get it in the first episode, it was still noticeable. I'm not sure what's different under the hood there. It's notably better.
I am
Yeah.
also noticing the aesthetic change. Like the style is different.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy considering you can stop on almost any frame and it's cohesive and consistent. And the other one, you stop on any frame and you see the ghost and you see all the other little elements.
So our
Yeah, it's kinda
PS1
different.
Does look a little bit more just like rotoscope footage. It looks like just a filter applied on top of video, whereas the second one looks a little bit more like it was actually a cartoon.
We're not trying
And to tell you the truth, I kind of like both styles for different reasons. Both of the styles are actually effective. If you can find a way how to blend both styles together, because I actually like how the first one looked better than this one. I'm just gonna keep it real. But I like this one better because you could just tell they did more stuff in this one. It's a lot more compositing. It's a lot more skillful tactics used to create all this shit than they did in the first one. But the first one, since they were so limited, what they had technology-wise, their understanding of it, it came out nice. I like the look. I like the semi-realism anime type of style. I like Vampire Hunter's style to begin with. It's just very, very good. So I like that style a little bit better than this because, like I said, to tell you the truth, it's not the dude who actually drew this is actually not an anime artist, and you can tell he's a cartoonist. So that's what I'm saying. Get me on board, man. Get me on board. Get me on board. Get me on board. I'm an anime artist through and through. I could have had it looking at no shade to this guy at all. No shade to him at all. I'm pretty sure he's a very, very talented cartoonist. I'm not a cartoonist, so he probably blows me out the water with that. But anime shit, that's my lane. So I know how to get it to look like anime style art and have it look consistent. That's my only thing with this though. I like part 2. I like the scope of part 2. It's extremely ambitious compared to the first one. Like they said, they have 400 shots compared to the. Come on now, like that's crazy.
to replace anything here. We're trying to come up with something new. I find these visuals super intriguing, and I haven't been this jazzed about visual effects since we started our YouTube channel 14 years ago.
14
I never
years ago.
thought I would be able to make something that looks like this, because I'm not a traditional animator, but here we are, with a full episode of an anime, made with 6 people, over 4 months, nothing close to a studio budget, and it's live on corridordigital.com. Go check it out right now. It's only possible for this to exist because of the subscribers on our website. So thank you so much to all of our subscribers. If you're considering subscribing, well, got a great reason to right now. And we're gonna follow this up with a whole bunch of tutorials teaching people this method and how we did it and all that kind of stuff over on Corridor Digital. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching the video.
They still got a long way to go. But the thing is, I just like the fact that they're actually trying. They're trying new different ways. They're being innovative, and they're doing things that most people could not do. I don't care how long they had to do it. This shit is not easy. I've tried it myself. I tried 6 different type of Stable Diffusion software programs just to see if I was missing something. I'm dumb in this field. I don't really know how to do anything. I don't. So that's why I said, working in tangent with these type of people, we can make magic. But with this, I think they chose the wrong artist for the second one. I'm not saying he's a bad artist. He's not even close to being a bad artist. He's a good artist. But it just doesn't fit the style of anime rock, paper, scissors 2. I like the style of the first one. The style of the first one is perfect to me. But just use the same tactics and style. If you can have somebody draw the style of the first one, Jesus Christ, man, and have it as smooth as the second one is, you got magic. Okay, so let me put it like this. I actually like it. I like the fact of these guys are always innovating and trying new things, and are basically been doing this shit for 14 years, and this is like his dream project. A person who is not a traditional animator is able to create something like this is insane. And plus, since he is using something that is traditionally us, that we do, it brings us into the foreground and actually are talking about better ways to do different things. You're combining our skill set with your skill set. And that's just bringing artists together from all different walks of life. 3D artists, background artists, compositors, anime artists, cartoonists. You bring them all together to create these massive projects, but man, come on now. This is nothing but good shit. I don't understand how people can find anything bad about this if you just don't like change. If people don't like change and they're scared of things not being the way that they were before because they don't know how to adapt to the climate, I'm just being real. That's a personal problem. It's not a industry problem, because the industry is always going to innovate. There's always going to be new shit that comes out. Sorry. And there's always going to be stuff that's going to be easier than what was coming before. If you don't have it being easier going forward in the future, then you're not innovating. Duh. It's just common sense. So I don't understand where people are bitching about this shit. Man, you should see how many people on Instagram, on my platform, where I'm normally at. It's a cesspool of hate when it comes to AI art in general, and AI artists. I actually follow a bunch of, like a couple AI artists, and I study what they do. I look at it and I'm like, I kind of like that. And I use it for reference. It's me out. I like it. So I'm not bitching about it. Corridor Crew, keep on doing what you're doing. I'm about to check out the second episode too, 'cause I'm a part of their website. So I'm gonna check that out, and I'm gonna try to find somebody who's a good Stable Diffusion type person to see what we can create kind of together, because I'm so close to finishing my manga, the beginning prologue, and I kind of want to create something when it comes to Stable Diffusion to get it to be like a kind of like an animated short that will be on my channel. I got a bunch of ideas with this that I want to personally use going forward. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for checking this out, and yeah, we'll see what they do with it in the future. Peace out.